All right. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This is a little different than what I normally do. No tutorial today, just a long list of inspiration. So everything in this video is things that either I have made, with the small exception of 2 pieces that come from some family members that I figured I would show you. But aside from that, these are 98 things that I've made and 2 bonus items, so 100 ideas for crochet inspiration. Hope you enjoy. So I want to start off with bags because I think they're the easiest to get into when you haven't crocheted in a while or if you're just learning for the first time. And I want to show you the easiest starter in my opinion, which is just the classic shoulder bag over the shoulder, in the hands, and with a ton of different variety. So the one that I'm holding up here is a lot more intricate than a lot of the ones you can make. Has some straps at the top, a flap here, and a full handle that is in fact detachable. But the whole point of these bags is how versatile that they are. So while we have this with these little patches and stuff in the front, and a lot of other ones don't need that. So to go down the list here, we have some ones without all that fancy stuff. This is the letter bag that I made. This one just features a quick over the shoulder and a tiny flap with nothing added onto it and nothing even lining the inside. Just a nice easy bag like this. Of course, when I make these shoulder bags, I like to add this extra flap here, this sort of extra panel on the sides, which connect usually to this main strap. And of course, you even have the opportunity to line the inside of your bags if you want to take the extra time to do that. This is quite literally one extremely long, I believe half double crocheted row. From start here all the way around, it just features a panel in between that uses as straps. And there's a zipper on the inside too, so you can zip it all up whenever you're done with it. An addendum to the shoulder bag, which I guess is still kind of another shoulder bag, but I like these little totes as well. So the difference is that these have nothing on top of them. They are just nice and open, so you don't really have to worry about doing all the extra. But for tote bags like these, you're still gonna use this long strapping feature to go over and widen your sides. But there's fun things you can do too. Like this one has a little drawstring, so you can pull it shut. Becomes a cute little pouch. And this one features little shells on the ends that I thought were super cute. I just found them on the beach, so you can do things like this, as well as one of my most popular bags to date is the popcorn stitch. Another extremely popular bag that I make are these star bags. And the whole premise of these is that you either have an outside stitch or an inside. So you either have this cartoonish look here or a big fluffy pillow look, which I could show you right here. And the difference between these two is just which sides you do your stitching on to sew together. For other fun shapes, I just like to mess around sometimes. This one I thought kind of looked like an old TV static-y sort of yarn. Bags can look so many different ways with so many different things. I remember trying this one out of ribbon, fabric ribbon. It's interesting in my opinion, very heavy. I've made mini duffel bags too. So a thick strap like this and circular ends. And of course, one really big rectangle to cover both sides. You could add a zipper to this, some Velcros. I just liked it the way it was. Or of course, for bags like these, little strawberries and stuff are cute too. Our next category is going to be accessories. So this is going to include things like gloves, scarves, little charms, and holders. So we'll start here actually, since I have it in my hands. This is not my official design. I've seen people make these chapstick mushroom thingies for quite some time, but I like to add little thingies on top, little pieces of jewelry, things to attach it to bags, so that way it's just a little bit more special than here's my little chapstick holder. Of course, I make tons of charms like bags. I have these little star ones too. They are the exact same way where you flip it over itself. For example, if you put it through here, you would pull up and over, tie a knot, pulling it through like that. So it would make an actual knot on a bag. But these little charms are super quick too, and they use the same star pattern as the bag does. Some more fun accessories include things like wallets. This one's really small. It just flaps right open. You can shove stuff inside. You can do a button or a magnet or like a zipper to keep it shut. But this features a little velvet skull right over the top of it. I thought that was pretty sick. I also recommend when you have some leftover yarn to make things like water bottle holders. There's the classics, tons of scarves, of course. Another big thing that I've seen people do is jewelry holders. I made this one quite some time ago. The premise is to hook it on with like some command strips to a wall through the corners and then hang everything that you have right along this. And then of course you can put earrings right through the actual things as well, little stitch holes. And this one is made so you can close it up and open it whenever you want as well too. One of my favorite accessories that I've personally made are these gloves. So they look a little bit like this, cute little bunnies on the tops of them. I'm gonna put them both on for you. And you just pull it up and through like so. Cute front post, back post right here. Little bunnies I made, and they fit super cute. I also recommend things like these little coasters. Those are quick and easy. You can make some bags too, little mesh things to carry things up on the walls. You've probably seen a million of them. And honestly, I would just go crazy, learn how to make stars and hearts and skulls, things like these here, and eventually you'll very quickly start to come up with things on your own. Something else that I'm gonna consider an accessory, just so it fits better with the video, are things like blankets. So I want to show you something that I think is crazy. My great-great-grandmother made this, so I cannot claim this as my own. But this is a baby blanket that was made, I don't know, maybe like 70 years ago. It is in extremely good condition. And I figured if there was anything to take inspiration from this video, please let it be this, because this is like ancient crochet, not ancient, but this is crochet history. This is generations and generations of women. It is something that she made that I will be keeping for a very long time. Figured I would show you this one. Next category is going to be hats. So hats are my personal favorite thing to make, just because there's so many things you can do. If you're tired of the classic beanies, I recommend trying something cute like this. Nice long ears, inspired by New Jeans for anybody's a fan. Put them up and over like this, and now you have something that was just a plain little simple beanie. And boom, all of a sudden it's high fashion, crazy, exciting. My craziest hat that I think I've ever made is this little kitty cat beanie. So these ears are actually stuffed, and this is some lace I've tied up as well. But this one is same idea as the last one, up and over. And boom, cute little headband basically right on the top. I added safety pins here, and I made these cute little braids. This is very different, and it was actually one of the first patterns that I just came up with on my own when I started. So I'm very proud of it. Actually, I'll zoom you guys in here too. I added a lot of safety pins up and down. Bottoms have little frills. And it's made with a really thick, chunky yarn too. So do not think just because you've never crocheted before, you can't jump right into something big and exciting. Make this. Make something simple like this where it feels just so good to learn how to do extra stuff. So I recommend trying some fun things like this too. Another fun classic is these super simple little beanies like this. It's like the classic cat ear beanie that you've probably seen a million times, where you just put it on like this and it makes the little ears like that. So when you're making one of these, they are really easy. You make tiny ones like this or slightly bigger. It is basically a glorified rectangle. So you can just make one, let's say double this size like this, fold it over and sew up the sides, and it is literally the entire thing. And then just to show you guys, the first thing that I ever made was one of those little cat ear beanies. It's very chowder looking. I sewed these cute little hearts onto it. I don't even know if it'll fit me right, but here we go. This one came down a little bit bigger than the last one, but this is the first thing that I had ever crocheted when I first learned. So with that being said, they're very, very easy. If this is the first thing I ever made, anybody can do it. Trust me. Try one of these. My next category is the balaclavas. These are super simple. Another bunny one. I'm a big fan of that sort of stuff. So as a lot of you probably know, you put these on up and over your face like this. I wear them a lot because I go on hikes in the wintertime and it gets really cold in New Jersey. Another really fun hat idea that I have are these jellyfish hats here. They have these super, super long tentacles, and if we zoom in, you can see they kind of loop around each other. And it's basically just a really big bucket hat with an extra layer on the inside underneath like this. So if that's where your hat ends, underneath is where you add this ruffly layer, and you just get this super cute little jellyfish. And the final hat that I want to show you guys is this super classic French beret. So, you know, comes complete with one of these. These ones are cute. I added these little tiny color change designs, and you just pop it on the back of your head. Because of the way I make this magic ring circle, it's really easy to have it go big on the outside, define line here, and then decrease down in. I have a video on this if you're interested. If you have short hair like I do, I really recommend one of these because they fit so well. I actually have one more. Let me show you this. This one was so cool because it's made with real bunny fur. And rather than just the typical beanie, this one sits on the back of your head like this. When you have it pulled over, I would pull it a little further back than here, flip it, and you get this really cute sort of hipster look. Plus, like I said, it's like all organic, natural fur. So like I said, there are so many things you can do with hats. I really recommend trying them out and just sort of learning what you like and what new things you can do. Our next category is what I think takes you from like the beginner levels towards those more intermediate and advanced levels, and that's starting to make actual clothing. So clothing I have the least amount of pieces of, mainly because they take a very long time, not just in the actual making of the object, but in the patterns themselves. Writing them takes forever. So I want to start you with a simple one, which is a nice long tube top dress, which does not even fit in the camera. So let me show you a picture over here. So a dress like this is made basically to order, at least in my shop. So I make it to fit. This one fits me perfectly, where it's up around the top, nice and skinny around the waist, bigger on the butt, a whole to-do. So when you're making a long piece like this, which is where I suggest that you start, you basically are just doing double crochets over and over and over and over and over again, and then over even more. But you're basically just working on your increasing and decreasing skills, as well as just like your actual movement techniques. So something like this is what I'd recommend when you really want to get into clothes, so you can get used to making things like dresses and tops and stuff where you have to fit it to your own body. However, not all clothes needs to fit against your own body, and I actually have here the most expensive item in my shop, which is this gigantic oversized bunny sweater. As you guys know, I love bunnies, but something like this I think took me 18 hours to make. This was one of my earlier projects, so it might take me a little bit less time now. But just in the writing of the pattern, learning how to do tapestry in the center, and, you know, making hems like this, changing sleeves. This is a huge puffy sleeve too, so it's not even fitted to my arm. It's even bigger, whereas the end is fitted to my wrist. So I really recommend everybody, no matter who you are, needs to learn how to make some sort of sweater. I think the last main piece of clothing that I like to make are skirts. So if you look here, mini skirts like these are super popular. I actually just made this in a video last week. Adding things like drawstrings to the top to fit your body are wonderful. And making things roughly like this on the bottom gives it that like coquette, flowy look. But these sorts of skirts I really recommend for beginners because one, this is like 6 rows. Plus, they're just really cute, both for summertime to go over bathing suits or like over leggings in the winter and some leg warmers. Stuff like this, I highly recommend. This last category is, in my opinion, the hardest and what involves the most practice overall for learning and crocheting. Everything is very technical. It requires a lot of free form, and it's just one of those things that I can't show you on my own body, so I'm gonna just have to hold them up for you. So these are my bathing suit and lingerie sets. And I will start you guys off with what I think is something, I'm not going to say easier because it's not easier in any capacity, but it's like a more modest and closer to clothing style design. But it starts with these little bloomers. So as you can see, tiny little shorts. I use a windowy pattern because it's, you know, it's kind of sexy, whatever. And a cute little drawstring to pull them tight, ruffles around the legs. This is a very similar shape to something like a bag that you would make right across. However, it is still going to fit your body with things like the drawstring and the similar little piece in the middle here that connects the two leg holes together, basically covering the groin but still looking super cute. So familiar shape. The top part is not a familiar shape, but it is closer to a t-shirt or a tank top than some of these other pieces. So the top for this, let me zoom you guys out, ties in the middle here and actually also ties up on your sleeves up top. So, you know, up against your body would look like this. This is where we get intense, and these are the sort of shells and windows and meshy patterns in between them all. And most of this is just free form that I come up with off the top of my head, and I know a lot of other creators do. That is what makes this so difficult and which takes so much practice to get done. But these sorts of things here are super worth it when they're done because they come out really good. An example of an easier set is something that may not be similar to what you've crocheted in the past, but it does have easier stitches. So for example, we have these sorts of just regular bikini bottoms. They just utilize double crochets and some chains here. Obviously familiar in that regard. However, the shape is very different and you'll need to learn how to make triangles, decreasing your edges, use these sorts of chains that wrap around front to back and slip in all different directions. But if you guys are looking for some sort of tutorial on a full lingerie set, please let me know. I'd be happy to make one for you. This one comes with a top that I think actually a lot of beginners could make if you guys are interested. It is a sort of tube top, but it does have the straps, a cute little bow and some ruffles. This utilizes these sort of ribbed half double crochets. So it ends up looking almost mermaid-like, in my opinion, from top to bottom like this. Something that might be a little easier for beginners is a top like this. This is another one of the first things that I came up with, and I know it's hard to see because it's black, but it simply uses these plain cut patterns, which I've described in many videos before, as well as just some regular double crochets going up and down. What makes this one so much more fun than just a plain top like that is this lacy, the laced up thing in the back. So almost like shoelaces. This top tightens with these little crosses. Let me flatten that out for you to see too. Little cross shape here as basically the aglets for these strings. So this is something, again, that you could totally learn as a beginner and end up, if you want to make some plain bottoms too, something like these will absolutely help you out. Everyone, thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope that I've inspired somebody, or maybe you learned something and you're going to go and create something when you're done with it. If you need any of the links to my videos, just click on the channel right up here, and here are some of my more popular videos at the bottom. Take a look at those. They're a great place to start, and hopefully it's something that you wanted to make from the video. If not, you know, be my guest, leave me a comment, and I will make anything that I've already done over again. Or if you have something in mind that you really want to bring to life, please let me know and I'll write a pattern for you. In the very near future, I'm going to be looking into doing memberships on the channel. So if you're interested, or if you want to see something specific, you know, DM me on Instagram or just leave me a comment and we'll start looking into it. But speaking of Instagram, link for that is up here and a link for my Depop is over there if you're interested in either buying anything or looking at my written patterns. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye, everyone.